What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Back at you with another one. So today I want to talk about this Mike Brown firing and how I feel like these it's a little clip of Lou Williams talking about what happened with the whole situation and his thoughts. So I'm gonna let y'all hear what Lou Will had to say. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give my commentary on what I think happened with this whole situation. So I'll be right back. See y'all in a minute.
But from what I understand, it just ran its course very fast and surprisingly. This was a team who we all had and still have high hopes for, and they fell short of those expectations under his leadership. And that happens, and that's no slight to his pedigree as a coach. Players get traded for a lack of a fit. Coaches aren't immune to that. So I'm hearing there was just some pushback from how DeAaron Fox was continuously being singled out. Whether it was publicly or behind the scenes, or the players just didn't agree with that sentiment, or I was even hearing whispers that there was a situation where he might have asked, or suggested that even Demar Derozan come off the bench. And those things proved to be severe missteps in an already challenging season, where it put the front office in a position where they had to side with either the all-star talent they had or to part ways with their former coach of the year, who had a brand new 3-year extension. And ultimately they chose to go with the players. And that made Mike Brown a casualty of that. Could they have handled it differently the way that he was fired? That's not my call to make. A lot of coaches and a lot of different people are coming out in support of how it was handled. But this was just a classic example of, a coach losing the locker room and not being on the same page with his players. And, at the end of the day, the players were, who management chose to side with.
I love it, but I'm going to challenge you, DeAaron Fox. You got to figure out how to get to that level without having somebody piss you off, because you're a great player, and great players get to that level on their own, whether it's finding somebody to piss them off or finding something else. Maybe there's a 5-year-old kid that has an opponent's jersey on and not yours. That should piss you off.
There's nothing you guys can do, right, as a team? You're on your end.
What's that?
There's nothing you guys can do, coach, teammates, on you guys.
There's some things that we could do.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to try to do it.
Okay.
But as a great player, you got to take that upon yourself more than worry about other things. Now, if other things come along, great.
Yeah.
But you got to figure that out.
Check this out. Joe Mazzulla's not going to win Coach of the Year. Why? They got a good team. Boston's supposed to win. Mark Daigneault, OKC, not going to win Coach of the Year.
He won last year.
Yeah, but he got a good team.
Yeah.
Supposed to win. When you win Coach of the Year, that means you overachieve with your team. You're not supposed to do that well. So when you win it, you basically coach these guys up to a level that they really are not. So now you turn around the following year and you want to say, because you were Coach of the Year and the team got to here, y'all should be here. No, you just was able to do an unbelievable job. And let's be honest, maybe some teams you played certain nights, the best player didn't play. You got some breaks that way. The season will kind of even out. So you win Coach of the Year because you exceed expectations, right? Now, the next year, people think you're supposed to do better, but your roster didn't change. You didn't get better. You didn't add anything. And you overachieved. And now this year, you're not surprising anyone. Everybody's ready for you. They're game planning for you. So I just think sometimes when coaches win the Coach of the Year, owners and general managers don't look at it from a standpoint that this guy really did a really good job. He overachieved. But I think what they do, they sit back and say, yeah, we got a good team. Look at the team I gave you. And then, but in reality, all the people that sit at this desk really know that team wasn't that good. That coach and those players just kind of overachieved.
And I look at it right now, Sam. They're 4 games out of the 8th spot. But we have play-ins. If they could have got to the play-in, you never know what can happen.
Playing 10 spots. So
yes,
they 4 from the 8.
That's what I said. They
right
take 2 or 3 from the 10th spot.
And you have to remember, we're only 31 games. Well,
Yes.
13 and 18, they're only 31 games into the regular season.
All right, so y'all heard that. You know what I'm saying? So my take on the whole Mike Brown getting fired is that, like, sometimes these teams, when they see a little bit of success, they start having unrealistic expectations of how good they should be, right? Like, they don't know the difference between like a an outer body experience or an outlier and something that they should actually expect to be consistent. You know what I mean? Like the Kings are not historically a good franchise. So when you finally have a good season or maybe two good seasons, you start to, get a little unrealistic on your expectations. And then when you come back down closer to reality, now you want to blame the coach. But the coach is the one that got you to that high. So how can you blame what I'm saying? Like, how can you blame the same dude that got you there? Right? That's one thing. And then GMs, in my opinion, get coaches fired a lot of the times, right? Because you make these moves that the coach, now the coach got to deal with these players, right? Because a lot of the times, all franchises, the coach and the GM and all that don't be on the same page. GMs do what they're going to do. The coach just got to deal with it, right? So you go make this trade. You get Demar, and you pretty much swapped Demar for DeRozan, right? That was pretty much the meat and potatoes of the trade was Demar for DeRozan, which from a player for player standpoint, on paper, yes, DeMar DeRozan is an upgrade from Harrison Barnes. Okay, I get that, but this is the thing that they're not looking at. Roles, positions, where they like to score from, what they do on the court, what type of player they are. Harrison Barnes has been a third option for his whole career. I can't even say the duration of his career. His whole career, when he was on the Warriors, third option. Kings, third option. He's always been like a third option player. So when you match a third option guy with a number one, number two, you can still maximize that guy in that role. DeMar DeRozan has been a number one, 1A, 1B player his whole career. So he is normally the focal point of the offense. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different role. And another thing they didn't consider is that DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox play in the same space. DeMar DeRozan is a mid-range, top of the elbow, left elbow, right elbow, maybe a little little box post. That's where he operates from. Where does De'Aaron Fox operate from? Well, he drive, he pull up for the midi, but he get all the way to the rack. If you dare him to shoot, he'll let you know I can knock it down. That's his game. So they in each other's way, right? They both operate from the same area. DeMar DeRozan he does not really shoot threes for real. He's not a three-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? He's a mid-range assassin. So you upgraded the player, but you sacrificed the fit. That's why your team is struggling. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes these GMs need to understand, like, sometimes the best move is no move, right? Just be patient. Y'all already done had an out of body experience with getting better than y'all have ever been since Chris Webber, right? Don't get to changing nothing because y'all really didn't do nothing on purpose to get good. Like y'all kind of got lucky. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because of y'all great GM work or nothing like that. It was just y'all made the most common sense moves and it worked out. Like Mike Brown was the most common sense coach to hire, you know what I'm saying, at the time. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me how like these GMs to me and these owners hold the coach accountable instead of holding themselves accountable because I feel like the GM need to get fired. You the one broke something that was fixed. So I don't know. Them my thoughts on it. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all on the next one. Tell me what y'all think in the comments.